time on Roadworthy Rescues, we cruised the Black Hills.
I can't accelerate.
That's all the fast we can go, though.
This week on Roadworthy Rescues, we're back in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. We're actually driving the Black Hills Blazer we put together season 1.
Yes, sir.
Pulling in those Weifel motors again right now. I actually wrenched here when I was a little grasshopper. Actually even helped build the shop. But when we were putting this truck together, I was eyeing a Wagon up on the hill, and I happened to make a deal on it. This actually works in my favor because my wife Jessica has been wanting a Wagon, so I feel like I finally have permission to bring a car home. So this is a Wagon, Clark, right here. 1987 Delta 88 custom cruiser in all of its glory and fake wood grain, and very underpowered. I actually have a vision for this thing already. I've always wanted a Pro Tour-esque kind of car, so that's exactly what we're gonna do with this. Hop up the suspension, lower it, tires, wheels, and I wanna go cruise to the Black Hills. I'm gonna take you guys through my favorite roads, switchbacks and pigtails and bridges and tunnels and more. All that stuff. But first, Sean, we gotta get this running and see what it needs.
Get it off the ground?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
It's been sitting 16 years, and the story goes someone sold a house and just abandoned it there. Good friend Roger picked it up, and here it sits. Let's take a look, see what it's gonna take.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fancy, actually. Oh, it is wood grain. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's got a tape player. That's pretty sweet. It's an AC car.
I think you can put a full-size bed in there.
Are the seats missing or just folded?
No, they're
in?
folded down.
Let's open the back up. See what we got. We got flying creatures everywhere in this. These are cool. They fold down or out.
What? Really?
Let me show you.
Okay.
Look at this. Are you looking at it?
How do you roll that down, though? Is it power?
That's probably powers somewhere.
Watch out, wasps everywhere.
But here's the other handle. And see, it's got a different pivot point, and it'll come down.
Well, I'll be... Man, it's like mint under there, though.
Look at that. Oh, we got our build RPO parts identification thing. It's pretty sweet. And a lot of spiders, stuff like that.
Does that storage go all the way underneath that?
Oh yeah, this thing is awesome. Roof rack, spoilers. We're gonna have to do a wasp relocation, I think.
A delete?
Yeah. Eminent domain. You're gonna have to move. We'll deal with that later. Let's look under the hood.
Yep.
Oh.
What are all those snakes? It looks good, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a smogged out Oldsmobile 307. It's like 145 horse and 250 foot-pounds of tire shredding torque. And then you minus about all of that for the smog.
And AC.
It would be cool to get the AC working, though. It's gonna be hot this week.
Real hot.
I don't have any idea if this even rotates, if it's locked up. It's got a quadribog on it. Does have HEI. Don't know what those things do. Have no idea what those lines are.
Is that the smog pump thingy it would do?
All the vacuum lines are...
That should be fun tracing all that down, huh?
Yeah. Okay, we should probably get this running before we get ahead of ourselves. Then maybe suspension?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see it had overdrive?
No, I did not.
Oh man, we're gonna be highway bombing. All right, I'll push on the belt. You crank the croissant wrench.
Whoa!
And hopefully it turns. Go. Yep, it's
Yep.
rotating. Go
Oh,
again.
easy too.
Oh, that means there's no compression. Okay, smog pump's turning, air compressor's turning, water pump's turning. Power steering was turning. Okay, nothing's locked up then. Should we just throw a battery in it? And...
Yep, let's go.
So when they left the car, they like left it. They just...
That is crazy. To leave the keys and everything with it.
Everything. Just walked away. There was this in a Cadillac. I don't know where the Cadillac went. All right, here we go. Does the engine turn?
Nope.
Remember why we were curious why they would leave the car?
Uh-huh.
So the very first thing we got to do is put a starter in to even know if it runs.
Rev on it. Yeah. She's a runner.
Oh! All we have to do is rev on it. I'm filling up the bowls here and giving just a tickle of fuel like that. We're gonna crank this thing over and see if it fires. If it fires, then we don't gotta worry about the ignition. It's got spark. If it doesn't, then help us understand this one. Bring the thunder. Bring it again. Knock it.
We're good, dude. Let's just go.
Just ignore the knock.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Alternator works.
It's getting worse. On this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, sounds like another engine swap. So here's where we're at. The car runs. It was actually running off the gas that was in it. But here's the other thing, the engine is blown up. Sounds like a rod knock or something not good. So we're going through our options. We're definitely not gonna find an Oldsmobile 307 anywhere because why would anybody have that? We might try to find another B-body. I also see an Omega over there. We're gonna go pop the hood on that. Maybe there's an engine out here somewhere. Not really sure, but we're gonna go yard crawling right now. Chevrolet Nova, Oldsmobile Omega, Pontiac Venture, Buick Apollo. What does it spell? Nova!
Oh!
You didn't know that?
No. What's this got?
Rotates.
Would that even move that car?
Holy, look where my face was.
Oh, God.
Danger. We walked the yard. There's a couple of what appear to be 307 or 350 Oldsmobiles, various different options, but they are stuck in there. It would take us a day to get them down to the shop and pulling another questionable motor to this. So we're back on this. So I'm gonna dump in Marble Mystery Oil. No one knows what's in it, it's a mystery, but it could help free a sticky lifter, hopefully. And then we're gonna run it a little bit more, and then we're gonna put air in the tires, and we're gonna try to drive it down to the shop, and then reassess the situation for the fourth time, and then come to the conclusion that the engine's still bad. This here is high solvent energy technology. I don't know what's in it. There's skulls and crossbones and stuff. I usually dump it down the app, clean up the fuel system, but I just had an idea. Let's throw it in the crankcase, see if we can clean up these hopefully gunky stuck lifters, or we just ruin everything.
What is that noise now?
That's the smog pump. Sounds like that Slipknot drummer, that metal band. You never really know what's gonna happen. Hey, remember when we were gonna drive this through the hills? What was that about? I moved the steering wheel and all of a sudden...
Here's a good question. Now, we're going
Anti-radio theft, you know?
How do you change the station then? Turn it left? Well, we're gonna try to drive this down to the shop anyway.
Maybe we just drive backwards. You ever seen the movie Smoke Signals? That's how they get around.
Really?
Yeah.
We're going forward!
There we go. While we're on it. Oh. Oh!
Oh!
Easy with the brakes now. Brakes work. That motor's toast, man.
I've got a loose, tentative plan. We found an engine somewhere in the middle of Minnesota, and our producer's gonna jump in a pickup and go get that for us. It's like an 8-hour drive. He's a wild man. Meanwhile, we're gonna pull this engine and transmission and all the different stuff out and get this ready to receive this other engine that hopefully, fingers crossed, Ranman Park deal will work. The good news is we can clean up a lot of this emission stuff and hoses and doodads and whatnots, and it's starting to rain. So we've got to just knuckle down and try to get something done. Figure out what all this is plugged into.
There's a lot of things that it's plugged into. What is happening? Look at this thing. How does that work? What's this do? It's ground. That's already off. It's a good thing Derek's a maverick mechanic. He can just put all this back together and sleep. I don't know what any of these wires do. We're never gonna get this motor running again, huh?
No.
Well, on the top side, we just got a lot of hoses and pipes and whatnots. And we tried to unhook most of the wiring, but let's be honest, there's things cut. Now it looks more like an engine. We got the radiator out, the shroud, the fan. We got the fuel disconnected. We've got the power steering unhooked. Now we're underneath, get the starter unhooked. We got to do motor mount bolts, transmission cross member bolts, speedometer, any other wires, drain the trans, drain the engine as well. So when we pull it, we're not dumping stuff all over the ground because we haven't spilt a single drop yet. What are you even doing right now? What did you do?
I was moving the oil pan, but I forgot that there was already oil in the oil pan.
Oh, and you shoved it?
I pushed it, I pulled it back towards me.
How'd that go? Since we're gonna be cutting these corners up at about a 14 to 15 mile an hour speed on probably stock rotten tires by the time we get the engine in here, we're gonna want a new fuel tank so sediment and things aren't sloshing around. Also, the fuel tank is leaking all the way around the seam. Guy's got the quadra bog off here. And we got a new whole plate installed. We should be ready to yank the engine and transmission out. We're gonna do it as one piece since we're getting rid of this transmission. It doesn't really transmit anything anymore. And we left all the accessories and everything on here trying to save time, which is gonna bite us in about 5 minutes. It's gonna drag, but just keep going. Well, today's been filled with highs and lows and empty spaces and a lot of knocking noises. But I think for tonight, we're just gonna clean up the engine bay here, call it a night. Tomorrow, we'll hit it hard and we've got to fill this space with something other than 1 horsepower. day 2 on the Oldsmobile. We don't have an engine or transmission or wiring or doodads. So while we're waiting, Sean and I are gonna roll this up on the lift and start tearing apart the suspension. We're just gonna go for it. Try to go ahead and put some pro touring-esque style control arms and coil overs and stuff. I don't know what it does, but it helps you steer better. And then hopefully have it all back together before the engine gets here and then install that. We're gonna do this, a lot of people call it the wrong way, but it's the way I've been doing it for years. We're gonna loosen the nut on the upper and lower ball joints here and the tie rod end. We gotta separate all of that. Put a jack underneath the lower control arm, slowly let that down. Let that spring just boop, come out. Don't do that on Fords though, it'll whew. Then we're gonna completely remove the upper control arm and the lower control arm because we're gonna be putting in QA1 and tubular control arms and adjustable coilovers in this thing and a new front sway bar. So basically it's just 2 frame sticks and a cross member right now. We're gonna wire wheel everything down, clean it up, prep it. We're actually gonna do powder coating. And by that I mean rattle cans. So we're getting rid of this old junk here. And we're going to this stuff right here. Already got the upper control arm loosely set in place. That lower one's gonna come down into here. And then we're gonna have our coil over, which is a combination shock coil spring in here as well. And it's fully adjustable. So we're gonna be able to adjust ride height, rebound, spring, turn left, turn right stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun actually. Called tech support really quick. And they gave us a good starting point for our ride height based on our coil length and compression. You can get them in different poundages, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100 pounds, whatever, I don't know, lots of them. So we'll set that and then we're gonna set our coil and rebound. You can adjust them both ways and we're gonna set it for a little more aggressive driving behaviors for some reason. And then we're gonna do 3 inches off the bottom. I should get a tape measure and lock these 2 together, and then I can slide my coil spring over and try to assemble this. Wow. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. All right, right there. My favorite thing in the world is probably doing digital work. Closely behind that is brakes and brake lines and fittings specifically. So I'm cutting some tube to lengths, gonna start making some bends. It is gonna be crude, ugly, and semi-functional. Perfect.
That's why they call them vice grip. The hand. Oh, it fits right in. Yep.
Right?
Perfect. Hook it up.
Well, it's quite a bit of work today, but we got the frame completely stripped down, all of the old suspension out, all of the good new suspension in, brakes, all of that stuff. It's now a roller again. What do you think so far?
It's gonna roll better now.
Striking. So next thing we got to do is fill this big empty hole here, but we're gonna save that for tomorrow. Sun's going down. We're a little bit tired. Call it a day?
Call it a day.
All right, good work today, man. We were greeted with a gift this morning. This is our $600 1983 Oldsmobile 307 and 200 R4 overdrive transmission. No idea if it runs. No idea if this shifts, but we're gonna go ahead and put it in anyway. Now you might be wondering, why didn't we just put a 350 in or a diesel or some other thing that would potentially bolt in? Well, it can happen, but there's a lot of rigmarole with mounts and doodads and hoses. So we decided let's just keep the 307, keep the original heritage of the vehicle, and this is what we're going with. I've already power washed it. We're gonna Craigslist rebuild it, add some new main bearings by just spray painting the oil pan. And I gotta start taking the old manifolds off. This one's been welded shut. We need that to keep our original custom exhaust, which is mostly rotted and kind of works. And then start moving accessories and everything over. Hopefully by the end of today, this combination will be in the car and it will once again be running, except without a knock. This is the old manifold off the old knock engine. The one that came on our new sweet $600 unknown engine, the guy welded this off. So you only had exhaust here. This is a crossover that goes to the other side. Well, we need both sides of the engine to breathe, but the stud was snapped off. So I'm making a stud right now so we can attach, or hopefully attach, the exhaust. Woo! Guys, just doing a quick visual inspection. When you buy these used engines sight unseen, you can be surprised what you find. Also, we got a Craigslist rebuild, and I don't want to ruin my chrome because I won't get home. So we're gonna take both sides off, then we'll fog it down. And then we're just continuing to doll up accessories. At least it'll look sharp.
Sharp as a nail.
Sharper than a thumbtack. Getting ready to set the engine on top dead center. It's got the typical 1-843-6572 firing order, but I think somewhere in the early 80s, they switched from clockwise to counterclockwise ignition. I think it had something to do with the HEI. Not sure, 84 to 87, could be wrong. But we're gonna test out the starter here, see which way that turns, so we can figure out which way the flywheel turns and thus the accessories, and lastly, the distributor. So when we do put it at TDC, we line up the ignition wires correctly in the right order, trying to save us hassles down the road, Sean.
Good.
We rebuilt the whole engine. We've replaced the water pump. We've put a new fuel pump in it. Basically, we're just trying to fix all the failure points now. So when we're in the Black Hills trying to have fun, we're not fixing it more than 32 times. The old engine had computer-controlled timing. We don't have that anymore because someone took a Leatherman and cut everything out of the engine bay. So we're going to a Petronics. It's a one-wire system, and we're gaining vacuum advance and a simple one-wire hookup, which we have, and then we don't have to worry about all of the computer-controlled stuff for timing. We think we have this where we need it. We've guessed on belt sizes. We have the accessories on. It looks less complicated. It finally has less hose than an LA nightclub. We're gonna stick this thing in, hopefully, pop the bolts in, and it's done, right?
Right.
Okay, bring her in.
A little more up.
Yeah. Okay, now, inch. Okay, hold on. Okay, now in, down, in, down, in and down, same time. A little more in than down. Way too much down than in. I'll come down. You see what's happening?
You good? You coming?
No, hold on.
Come down.
Down a little. good. That's good. Yep. Well, we've got the engine and transmission in. Drive shaft hooked back up. We've got the rear end drained. Looks pretty good. We haven't filled it yet, though. Basically, we've got to do all fluids, engine oil, transmission, and rear end. Now we're just working on all the accessories. We got the gearbox, power steering hooked up. We've got the compressor hooked back up. We've got one of the heater hoses in. We're getting ready to drop the rad in, get those hoses on. We're gonna move to a flex fan. It is hot, and I live in the south. We're gonna need all of the cooling capacitized. We also got a cheapy little plastic rad we're gonna put in and get rid of the old one. It's moving along slowly. There's a lot of little things. I'm about to embark on the fuel make it happener. I've got to put a square bore to a spread bore adapter in here. That's gonna be our Holly. This goes to the Edelbrock side. And then finish up the cap and lightning hoses. So our ignition's all set up. Sean already put spark lighters in. Hopefully by sundown, this thing's gonna be running. Nope, but that's all right. We made progress. So we're gonna go with a vacuum secondary Holley 600 CFM electric choke unit. So this is a nice bolt-on unit. It's got the digitals. Like I said, you don't have to run a manual choke lever. It's vacuum secondary. So whenever the engine wants the 4 barrels, that's when she's gonna get it. Well, more like. Well, we're getting ready to fire this thing. Sean's filling the transgression up. I am trying to fill the carburetor bowl. We don't have a fuel tank still, and we decided to intentionally leave that out because we still have to finish the rear suspension, which there's a lot of bars and tubes and brackets and bolts and washers and gadgets. So we need all the room we can get. But I'm gonna fill the bowl. We should be able to turn the key, and if we just hear it make noise, I think we're ready to call it a night. Accelerator pump confirmed. Crank it. Make sure it's apart. Do it again. Say yeah?
No, it's not working.
Oh.
It was maxed out past 60, so.
Well, the engine works. It sounds like it needs timing work. That's why it burnt all the hair off my right arm. But it sounded like it had oil pressure and about 50 horsepower. So that's gonna do it for tonight. We are absolutely exhausted. What a mad thrash today. Tomorrow we've got a lot to do. Yes, it runs, but there's linkages and cables and cooling systems, and then we're on to rear suspension. There's still a lot to do to make it to the Black Hills. Well, it's now day 4 here in beautiful Piedmont, South Dakota with the 1984 Delta 88 Custom Bruiser. Is that what we're calling it?
Yes.
I think. We've got all the front suspension done. We've got a used miscellaneous engine and transmission in. We kind of sort of heard the engine run. So that means it's time to do the rear suspension, obviously. So we've got upper control arms, lower control arms, coilovers to go in the back. Today's our last day if we're gonna meet our goal of cruising through the Black Hills. We're gonna start just dismantling everything and hopefully things go back.
There it goes.
They're basically the same.
I mean, yeah.
Bruce Lee! Bruce Lee! Jackie Chan. Okay. Now, We know it'll fit now. Okay. You did it, dude. High fives all the way around.
I can't pick my arms up.
So we've got our upper coilover mounts in and the lower ones. We had to drill some holes, do some hardware stuff. Now, in order for this bad boy to fit up in there, like so, we've got to trim the frame a little bit right here. Got to notch this out, notch it out over there. We are in a dead rush right now. We've got a good old boy at a hot rod shop willing to align this thing for us, but he's going to be waiting on us, 6:30. So all this has to be put together. Fuel tank has to go in. We got to bleed the brakes. There's a long, long list. So right now we are just thrashing, trying to get this thing together. Now we're working on the lower ones and just struggling. We took this bolt out, it shifted. We knew it'd shift somehow, but it also burst the brake line in the rear, and basically one step forward, 13.7 backwards at this point. But this is gonna come out in a moment, pop a new one in somehow, then over to that one, and do the same thing. Hold on. Now, hold on. I'm lifting a dog up. Now go. Go. Old. No bueno. Back in the day, fellers would weld pipes and stuff in here, kind of box this in because these twist and flex. These QA1 units are just solid. So that's going to replace this. Give us some rigidity in the back. The rear is done. It is in. Piece of cake. So we followed the advice of height on here, and I failed to ask, like, oh, is that recommendation for stock ride height? Because I want to lower my vehicle. Well, yes, it was definitely stock. So I got to take 3 inches out of this, little turn by turn. We finally got the coilovers where we think we need them as far as ride height goes, but it's time to actually check with the correct wheels. See, we're not going to be running these. In fact, we're not even going to stay on 15s if we're going to try to do some, you know, cruising through the hills, Pro Tour type stuff. I don't know if we might even autocross this someday. So these old 15s have got to go, and we're moving to these 255 4017s. These are a US wheel. They look great. I think these are called like Firehawks. Something cool like that. But we're gonna bolt these up. It's gonna completely transform not only the look of the car, but obviously the stance and the handling as well. Hopefully we've got the right height right. Oh, I lost the jack. It's in the vehicle. Somebody tell me what's happening.
Looks good.
Okay, I'm glad you're really fired up about it, Sean.
I'm exhausted today, man.
Oh. See that QA1? No sag. So I think it's good. It looks really, really good. Woo! Yeah, that float was stuck. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this on a trailer, haul it down to a shop and Sturgis, and these nice fellers have agreed to work late for us, and they're gonna figure out the suspension. Plus, they run some muffler pipe around in there too. So as you can hear, this thing is open manifold. Doesn't sound, it sounds like a boat, is what it sounds like. They're gonna try to fix that too. We'll pick it up tomorrow morning early, bring it back here, and then we still have to sort things out like we don't have rear brakes. So we're not quite in the home stretch, but we're getting closer. Well, we're in Piedmont, South Dakota, where we found this Delta 88 up on the hill. It had been sitting for 16 or 17 years. We did get it running, but it was immediately knocking something ferocious. We spent several hours in denial until we finally pulled that out with our $600 Mysterious 307 and $200 R4 transmission that actually runs pretty good. Then we immediately decided, well, since it barely runs, let's go ahead and put a full Stage 2 QA1 suspension kit in, complete with front and rear coilovers, front and rear sway bars, and then we've got these 17-inch US wheels wrapped in 255 4017 Fire Hawkesses. Cheap tire things, I'm not quite sure. Then we continued on. Brand new fuel tank, fuel lines, fuel pump, radiator, upper or lower hoses, heater hoses, clamps, doodads, belts, and whatnots. Holley carburetor, single wire Petronics ignition system with lightning hoses and sparkulators. As far as the brakes go, all new steel lines through this and rubber lines, calipers, rotors, wheel bearings, and seals.
It's all new.
I'm running out of breath. On the exterior, we shine juiced it. We've got stuff off the interwebs on sale. There's grills and park lights, and we've got Holley retro brights. Now it kind of runs. We've got exhaust on it. Let's go cruise this thing.
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, whoop. Well, we got more lights on than the lighthouse, but it runs good. Can't believe we haven't overheated yet.
It's actually staying pretty decent, right? Like 190?
Yeah. Plus it does this now.
Yeah. At 60, no body roll.
Yeah. Imagine doing that with the original suspension and tire. Well, we'd be upside down. So we learned a couple things this week. Never take your bushings out of your rear axle, and don't put brake clean on a sunburn.
Oh, my hat's soaked in brake clean. It's burning my head. Yeah, that was miserable. Over to the left, there's a big sculpture of Derek. Right there.
Oh, that's a really big one.
Yeah, holding the American flag up.
How do you get that home?
You know, I'm not sure you can.
Jeez. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, it's really doing good for being 90 degrees out, pulling that big hill.
Yeah, it didn't even move. This is pretty cool. So we've cruised the Black Hills off-road, and now we're cruising the Black Hills on-road.
Yes, sir. Got to get some horn honkage in here.
Oh, yeah. Honk your horn or it's bad luck. Well, took a hard right, and then she just started flooding bad. I think we got a stuck float. So I got my carburetor adjustment tool out. Probably that back one again. You want to crank it?
Yep.
I think that should fix it. It's flooding. We had some vapor lock issues. You know, we were climbing 13% grade or something like that for quite a while. So the front bowl went dry, so the accelerator pump or the squirter didn't have any fuel. Then I raised the bolt too high to compensate and had to adjust the floats back down, but I think we got her just right. Dialed! Lock her down. Smell of the shine juice back with the sweetness of the Black Hill spruce.
Oh, and that, yes. Thought you're commenting on the
fresh shave.
The fresh shave air freshener.
Well, that too.
Oh, she handles like a dream.
It does actually. Swervy, swervy, swervy.
Oh God.
Yeah, the floats are much happier.
Yes, they are. Honk the horn, dude.
That's gonna do it for this episode. The Wagon has successfully conquered the Black Hills. We slowly toured, but it handles well. We saw the faces, we did tunnels, we did the curlicues and the pigtails and everything else. That's gonna do it for this episode. Stay tuned, there's plenty more to say. Do you wanna drive this thing actually?
No.
Okay.